And we're seeing more buyers because interest rates are so low. And a lot of people think, well, buyers aren't out there right now because nobody can get financing. Well, that's absolutely not the truth, because there's so many creative ways to get financing, and there's a lot of guidelines. Yes, they're a lot more strict, but they're for a reason. They're strict, and there's a lot of people that can qualify in today's market at such a low interest rate.
You know what's actually really important about that is, although the guidelines are strict today, that actually means that we're putting people into homes that can actually afford them.
Hey, what a concept.
And that can keep them, and that won't have the problems that we're seeing from what happened in the last part of the decade where everybody went crazy, right? So it's actually a good thing. We're just making sure that when you're buying a home, the time is right for you, and you can succeed.
Well, there's a lesson to be learned there, because I think there's still a lot of the public that doesn't know that they can qualify for a mortgage.
Exactly.
I mean, they don't know what they're thinking. They just think the worst case scenario. So the message that I would like to throw out there, and Sherry will support this for sure, and so will you, Don and Gino, is if you're thinking about buying a piece of real estate, if you're a renter now, just you owe it to yourself to sit down with Don and Gino and find out, number one, can you qualify for a house right now? And number two, if you can't for some reason, because if you're paying rent, you're already paying you're already paying as much as, if not more than, what you're paying for a mortgage.
You're paying for somebody else's mortgage.
Yes, right. But you will find out, if you can't for some reason qualify, you can get a plan in place that'll define when you will be able to.
That's Steve Corn, owner of New Hall Escrow, wise beyond his years.
There you go.
No, that's great advice, Steve. That's a very good advice.
Proof is in the pudding. We had a client that happened to. He was busy trying to save money, and I said, no. Before you think you got to be saving all this money, you got to sit down with Don and Gino, and that guy was in a house 45 days later.
45 days later with one of our real estate professionals. Steve, you were the one who guided him our direction. I've never seen a happier person, and actually I love that because he gave me a bottle of Blue Label for a gift. He was so excited. I love that.
We all got to share in that a little bit.
Yes.
But really important. That's actually a great point. So many people still think, I think one of the biggest myths in buying real estate right now is people still think you need 20% down. Right. And we're doing so many loans with 5% down and 3.5% down, and yes, I'm going to say it, even 0.5% down.
You said it, didn't you?
I did.
0.5% down. It can happen.
It can happen.
We have a couple right now that are two people that are pre-approved, ready to go, 0.5% down.
Yep.
There's strategies out there, and Sherry, you're seeing a lot of great strategies, are you not?
Well, definitely. One of the biggest examples I have is one of my close friends. She just bought a house for 0.5% down, was about to spend $30,000 on a wedding, and I said, I will not be your best friend if you spend $30,000 in a wedding.
That's a good friend.
You're a renter. You need to take some of that money and actually get into home ownership, because now's the best time. And for 0.5% down, 45 days later, she closed escrow. They got married. She had the fancy wedding and the great new first-time home buyer incentive. So it was a great opportunity.
You just gave them the best wedding gift anybody could have given them.
For sure.
The gift of home ownership.
Low market, low rate. They have a home.
You're going to stay her best friend now.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, good for you. That's great advice, and that's why we have you on the show, Sherry, is that you work so hard to give great advice, and you're passionate about it.
Absolutely.
Like you said, you could have said, oh, I can't wait to be at your wedding. You're like, no, let's do this right.
I ain't coming if you don't buy a house.
Right.
This is what it is.
This is an idiotic move. And then that's what goes back to a lot of the young people in our valley don't understand. You can really buy right now. You don't have to be, mid-30s or 40s. Sorry, guys.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk about you don't have to be as old as us to buy a home and other opportunities in the market today on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.